I certainly feel like in the first part of it, I lost myself a lot and I'm starting to come out of it. Hello and welcome to another vlog on YouTube and podcast on Spotify by the Fit Minds podcast. Coach Mariah Jean and Alex. Coach Alex.
Whatever you want to think.
We technically you're a little bit of a coach.
Part-time coach.
Part-time coach. Full-time.
Full-time cool
guy. Full-time cool guy. Yeah. It's funny because not a lot of people know. For those who don't know Alex, not a lot of people know what Alex actually does during the day. He's just a stay-at-home dad, aren't you?
Oh, I wish I was. I hang out with Lyla all the time.
Yeah, well. We both know that's not going to pay the bills, hey?
No. You know, Alex works in technology.
Yeah, works in tech and sales and print and stuff and makes the money, moolah, makes the world go round.
Something like that.
Mum also makes money. I make money too, but yeah. Just going to put that out there. I don't just hang around and do nothing. So we haven't prepared anything for this, but every time Alex goes on holidays, I force him to do a podcast. And it's because most of you have told me, well, not most of you, I don't talk to everybody who listens to the podcast, but you seem to like interviews with Alex for some weird reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, look, I don't get it either. Alex is a bit unwise. I'm.
Yes, he is the third person.
I'm slightly unwell at the moment, so
yeah.
I'm not gonna have my usual
chipper self. You will. You've always got pizzazz, even when you're unwell. You can perform. You got this. Yeah, like singing The Sound of Music in the car.
Oscar Piastri.
What?
Oscar Piastri is next.
Oh, right. Okay. That was cool.
Anyone
yeah, would not get, no one would get the reference. Yeah, literally nobody would get that reference. Anyway, let's get.
It's the biggest motorsport in the world.
Do you think anyone who listens to my podcast would watch F1?
I hope so.
Okay. Well, let's get stuck in to the podcast. Today's topic, I guess it's just a very general topic. How we have been going as parents with our training and nutrition, and it's been 9 months now since we have had a baby. Well, I had a baby and Alex was
I was
there, yeah. I didn't die, so that was a success, and she's alive. So that's she's in, if you're wondering how we're doing this, she's in daycare today. And this is probably
could be asleep.
This is but this is full transparency. She's in daycare. But this is the first day that Alex and I have actually had together where she's been in daycare for a full day and we've both been home in 9 months. So it's felt a bit strange. Like it almost feels like we should be doing something or like going and getting her straight away, but
I'm totally going.
We've held off. Yeah, he's getting her up because he misses her too much. So I guess, and this isn't just...
How have you been going?
How have I been going? Don't ask me how I've been going. I'm a train wreck.
I'm guess. Jimmy Fallon and shit.
This is honestly like a little bit of a confession, I think, for both of us because confessions. Because it isn't just about like how I've been going or how Alex has been going, but how have we both been going and how have we been coping? How have we been going? Insane. How are you, Alex? Are you okay?
I came to hear words.
You're not getting any.
That's words. Ask anyone. I've asked everyone. We have the best.
We are sleep deprived. We are very sleep. We're hiding our feet because YouTube keeps commenting on feet on my podcast and my vlogs. So stop it. Stop doing that.
Pay for these bad boys.
Yeah, you got to pay for them. We've got our own feet channel now.
These fucking dogs.
Anyway, you can swear. You've sworn in these podcasts before.
I'm a dad now.
Let's focus on the topic, ADHD. So,
how have we been going?
Yeah, we're very tired.
I asked you. You just ignored it.
I did ignore it. It's avoidance is the best technique with this sort of thing.
I'll kick off now.
Go on.
What is it? With training.
Just This is a brilliant.
This
is a brilliant podcast.
Well,
in general, like, how are you feeling after having a baby?
Good.
You're feeling good.
Yeah, like, I'll happily tell anyone. I could talk about her forever.
You could.
I could show.
This is your opportunity.
Yeah. Well, if any of you listen to this, if any of you see me in human real life world, just ask me to show you photos of her because I'll do it all the way. She is the coolest thing in the entire fucking world.
You love your kid.
She's beautiful. I literally hate going to work in the morning because I'm not around her. And I love coming home because she gets really excited and happy to see me. So it's awesome. It's fucking awesome. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
It's so tiring.
Yeah.
Like I know everyone says, it's worth it. It's the best thing you'll ever do. Like, no one's wrong at all. But, like, it is. It is hard. You've got to do what you not got to do because, like, don't be a shit parent.
Yeah.
But you've got to do what works for you. And every couple's different. It's not, you're going to have different routines and lots of stuff. And you really got to prioritize making sure that you're both okay. I think as a male, it kind of becomes your role just to make sure, like, the mum and the kid's okay. You hear about mums losing themselves a bit. Dads do as well.
I certainly feel like in the first part of it, I lost myself a lot and I'm starting to come out of it. And I feel like you've kind of, because there's always going to be that, like, give and take. So it's like you've kind of gone a little bit as well. And then almost as well, like, we've been apart and distant. And it's funny, you get, like, ready for that. You get ready for the whole, like, you won't spend as much time with your partner and you won't have as much of the connection that you had before. And nothing really prepares you for the reality of, like, you can't control that. You cannot stop that from happening, creating that distance between the two of you. But it's normal. Like, any couple that says to you, like, everything's exactly the same as it was before we had a baby is lying to you. So, yeah. Yeah, but
obviously, the time you do get together, you get a little rugrat crawling all over you.
Yeah.
Which is cool in itself. Like, you wouldn't change anything, but I think honestly for the first 5 months, when Lyla was born, my training in nutrition, I wouldn't say turned to shit.
Suffered.
Yeah, it was still probably better than not most of the population, but a fair chunk kind of thing, to be honest.
I definitely think that it was better than what a lot of parents would have been able to manage. And it's not necessarily because you're not capable of it or they're not capable, but more like...
understanding of nutrition and macros and micros and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But training, like, there are some weeks where I wouldn't train at all. There are some weeks I train once, some weeks I train 3 times. The first 2 of those were much more common in the lab. But I also didn't really care. I kind of told myself, like, I wanted to be home and around you and Lyla as much as possible.
Yeah.
So, I'd be talking to boys or whatever. And I'm like, how's training going? I'm like, training's going shit, but I also don't really fucking care.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not, like, my daughter and you are opposed, not how, and it's not saying stop training, it's just how I kind of dealt with it. It just wasn't the big thing on what I cared about at the time.
Do you think mentally it was more like that you had acknowledged that this would be somewhat of a maintenance period, as in if you could maintain some muscle tissue or some of your training here and there was better than nothing?
Yeah, as long as I looked bigger than the person next to me most of the time, then I was like, it's like...
That's all that matters.
And I work in tech, it's not hard.
Good industry to choose, yeah.
It's all ego.
That explains a lot.
And then around when she was 5-6 months old.
That's when I felt things changed too, was around 5 to 6 months.
Then I was kind of like, there was a catalyst in then.
Yeah.
But...
Because obviously that as well, the supply issues that I had was incredibly, I I would say traumatic for both of us, but really difficult for you because you had to stand back from it so much. And then once we figured out that we had to combo feed, that's when I felt everything lift. It just everything came off our shoulders and didn't feel so heavy.
And you get to a point where you kind of like you figure out what you're doing and you're into a routine and things.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna stop taking the piss now.
Yeah.
You know, I had a good 5-6 months where I didn't really care. It wasn't a huge focus. And now it's like, all right, time to rein it in.
It's when I started getting abs before you, and you were like, "Uh oh."
We went to a show, some shit. And then I just looked in the mirror that night and I was like,
That's right. Yeah.
I mean,
this dad bod needs to not be a dad bod no more.
This dad bod needs to mix this bad boy up a little bit. I mean, we did, so.
Then you did a block with a coach and you did what, how many weeks? 11, 12 weeks of tutting or something? I can't remember what it was.
8 weeks.
Less, and you lost like 11, 12 kilos.
Yeah, it was like 11, 12 kilos.
That was a big cut. That was a really big cut. Yeah,
we got
guys here. What's funny is like Alex doesn't post this on social media, but like he got like 2 or 3 a couple weeks out from show lean.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. I mean, other than to see what you were working with.
Yeah, the composition and then how much
see how far you could push.
How much size we'd lost from not training.
But you did that while still having a baby, while still managing the stuff that we had going on as well. Because mind you, like, you know, what's our sleep deprivation like? How many good nights do we get a week?
And it's hard. Not necessarily going to the gym. The gym part's easy.
It's the fatigue.
It's you have more.
Can you see the black bags under my eyes? Under our eyes?
Like that's drastic. A lot of us have heard, sleep drastically impacts fat loss.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you guys have read the studies, but.
And muscle growth.
Yeah, read them, recovery and all that stuff. And
moods,
especially though.
Mental health.
It's incredible. Like they gave these people, one of them that comes to mind is they gave like two lots of people like similar sort of calorie deficits and training programs and all this sort of stuff, and gave one of them like 8 hours sleep and one of them like 6, and the difference between them was like actually not.
Yeah, it's nuts.
And we weren't even getting 6 at all.
No.
Well, I definitely wasn't because I was getting up early for work and taking Lyla and stuff. But
the hard part of it too is like we've got different responsibilities and different dynamic going on, and so my sleep is incredibly broken. Alex's is almost as broken as mine, but Alex's is always much shorter. So like on the nights where you're up with me for every feed, because you might wake up and go, oh, like, you may or may not wake up, but the nights where you do wake up every feed and then you get, let's say for example, like it's only, across 5 or 6 hours, that window or whatever, you're coming home looking like a zombie.
That's a broken 5 hours.
And I still got to sleep in, like where you weren't getting to sleep in. So, but we would try where possible where you were very fried to come home and have your nap in the afternoon.
Yeah, well, I have an afternoon nap. Sometimes I can nap.
Yeah.
So that's, but I mean, when it was kind of time to flick the switch, you almost just going back into like prep mode. And back on, and everything sort of becomes non-negotiable. So utilize Crazy a bit more when needed.
And me.
And you figure out a routine of alternating days.
Yeah. You
couldn't train with breastfeeding and your recovery and sleeps like that 2 days in a row.
Yeah.
So it's like, cool, we'll both crash. We'll both go on Monday.
Yeah.
I'll go on Tuesday, you go Wednesday, I'll go Thursday on Friday kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it works out that you'll at least get 3 sessions in.
Hopefully.
When you weren't sick and stuff. And I'm trying to get the 4 in.
Yeah.
It's funny that you're taking the time off and come back to bodybuilding. You realise how always you have fucking injuries.
Yeah, or niggles of some sort. Yeah. Even when you've taken time off training and you come back and you're like, oh, that old thing's still there. You
start lifting the heavy stuff again, and they're like, oh, that happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, what about you? You got abs again?
Are they intermittently popping in and out here and there?
You've got abs again, depending on how big your breakfast was.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, they've come back. I did a bit of if you haven't seen it yet, 9 months in, 9 months out, bit of a post. Yeah, I think probably the thing that I've struggled with, there's lots of it. There's lots of added layers, but probably for me from a physical aspect, like aesthetically, is getting used to the idea that my body looks a little bit different to what it used to. I'm not used to having to like really, hold my tummy in as much because of the extra skin that I've got and everything. But yeah, I feel somewhat more confident now. I didn't, though. I was feeling really, had to hold off from dieting and had to hold off from really heavy training because of breastfeeding. And being a parent is very self-sacrificial, but by the same token, I knew coming out of my C-section that at 5 weeks, that if I didn't go to the gym, then I probably would just let it keep going and would have turned into that whole like, well, I just had a baby, so I'm, not going to go back to the gym. I'm not going to train, and I'm just going to. It's this back and forth tug of war, which I see with you all the time, where it's like, I've got to make sure my daughter's okay, like that she's got, that someone's given her dinner, like one of us. We kind of have this thing going where, like, if we're taking in turns, if Alex is at the gym, I'll feed her dinner and bath her. If I'm at the gym, he'll feed her dinner and bath her. Depending, and it's a bit of a later dinner and it's a bit of a later bedtime, but there would be no way that we would both be able to train. I would have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and it would mean that I'd have to go to bed before everybody as well. And so then we would spend even less time together as a family. And then obviously with all the night feeds and stuff, it just wouldn't, I'd be living off next to no sleep and trying to train on that too. So the way that we do it is that Bubby has a later bedtime. We don't get a lot of like just me and Alex time. We have a lot of time as a family unit. But it works for being able to fit in sessions, like you said, with the rotating. I've had weeks where, like I've had more weeks where I've done like 1 or 2 sessions rather than my 3. But I keep saying to myself,
yeah, you can reset the going next week.
Yeah, and you can't, as a parent, especially I reckon in these early phases, like we can't really preach about this because we're only new parents. So we don't know what it looks like for the next 6, 8, 10 years. Well, this is the first time for this whole process, right? But you definitely can't set unrealistic expectations of yourself. You can't have this stupidly high bar. And then when you don't meet that bar, that you feel like, well, what's the point? And then you kind of give up altogether. So something that Alex and I like mutually almost not even really spoken about much, but agreed upon is that, just do what we can. And if some weeks like sickness, we got hit hard with sickness there for a bit. It's like 6 to 7 weeks where it was just like sickness, teething, and it just would get like 1 or 2 days where we could breathe a little bit and then it would just start up again. And we've just done 6 nights in a row of very frequent wakes, and like she's been up between 2 and 4 a.m. just not going back to sleep. And in those early hours of the morning, like you're fried, you're looking at each other and you're just like, what the fuck is this? We know it's not her. We know it's developmentally normal and stuff that happens and everything like that. But it is, parenthood is very testing. But we've never given up completely. Like I don't see you, ordering KFC every night or anything. Like it's not like at a point where we've drastically declined. And that's what I'm really proud of us for, is that we've been able to claw some of our identity back and being able to get, and now it feels like she's starting childcare full time in the new year, which is bittersweet because I love having her here. It's been very difficult for me having her here. I will admit I was very advantageous saying like, I can have the baby at home and I can work, because it was working when she was little and she was sleeping a lot on me and stuff like that. But I found out because when she became mobile, that even having help at home, having a nanny, it was very distracting. She wanted to be with me a lot just because I was there, and just knowing that part of it. I feel like there's a light at the end of the tunnel with her going to childcare, is certainly with both you and I getting back a bit of balance back into our lives and being able to make some time for ourselves again. But mentally it's been a roller coaster, I think. And physically, we've come out the other side and we haven't lost too much muscle and yeah. You like speak for yourself.
You lost a little bit.
Oh, I've definitely lost strength. Like I've gone from I was doing 7 to 8 plates both sides on a leg press, and the other day I put 5 plates both sides, 6 plates both sides at the most, and I was like, holy shit, this is hard. So it does. I guess it's a bit of a hit to the ego, but the way I see it is it would be much worse if we just quit altogether.
Yeah, the alternative is not that way at all.
Which I've seen people do. So we've both just agreed upon giving it absolutely everything that we can, and we have some future aspirations for getting back on stage.
Yeah,
Maybe. It just depends on what it looks like.
Yeah, I'm in two minds about it.
Oh, so Alex has now backed out of it. I didn't even know that he'd done this mentally. The importance for you to compete is a lot less than mine, because obviously your career doesn't really, not ride on it, but it's almost
it hinders my career.
It means nothing to you in the way of your career, but it's also a personal achievement, and there's no pressure on you to do it. I would never pressure you to compete again. I'd always support you in it, but I would never say, look, you need to do this. No one ever needs to compete, but it's nice to have that personal goal.
Yeah, if you want to compete, fucking run straight.
Yeah.
But if you don't, people glorify it and put a lot of things on hold that maybe they shouldn't, just to compete.
Yeah.
Where it's people compete just to be lean, all that sort of stuff as well. It's be lean and not.
That's right, and not compete.
You can have a coach and not step on stage. You can do all this shit.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of it too is figuring out, do you really want to get to that stage where you're comp lean? What is it for? What's the purpose behind it?
Yeah, because when I was dying recently, I got dumb lean.
You did.
And I was like...
I'm pretty sure I saw a line in Luke.
This shit sucks.
Yeah. You were cranky, but you were doing pretty well considering you were sleep deprived and new parent.
Yeah. So...
Yeah. Here's the yawning.
All right. I've written down some questions.
Oh, here we go. Oh, no. Yeah, you said you'd taken notes, and you actually have taken notes.
Yes, correct. Yeah. So this is.
I don't know whether I want to let this actually happen, and this may get edited out, guys.
You invited me on.
I did invite you on the podcast. I don't know. What have I done? This is a Christmas Eve podcast. Very Christmassy. I am avoiding it. I'm trying to dance around it.
This one here says, "Why?
Why does that it?
Are you the way that you are?"
Genetic code, I suppose. Yeah. But there's a lot of, I could answer that lots of different ways. Yeah. You're in a relationship with me.
The listeners want to know why. Why did you do that?
Why did I do that? Which thing? I don't feel guilty, so I mustn't have done
What's your favourite juice?
My favourite juice? What is this? This is roles reversed here. I thought I was interviewing you.
Well, you're not doing a good job of it.
I'm doing a terrible job. I did ask you. I said, how are you? Many times.
Yeah. On the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. How are you? Fucking hell.
No, I'm a terrible interviewer. I didn't prepare any questions. What's my favourite juice? Apple and mango or mango nectar?
You are a fan of mango nectar. It's a good way to get easy calories in.
Yeah, it's really sweet. What else?
Favourite pizza?
Favourite pizza? And I don't like pizza that much.
No.
That is irrelevant. That is not the question. The question is not, do you like pizza? It is, what is your favourite pizza?
A box of favourites.
I haven't answered the pizza question yet.
You took too long. It's supposed
Hold on. What do you mean? You're changing the rules as we go. Is it a certain amount of seconds?
Yeah, 5.
What? 5 minutes or 5 seconds? Just the number 5.
When you buy a box of favourites.
I'm going to answer the pizza question first.
Will you?
When I used to eat pizza, it was double bacon cheeseburger on a triple cheese crust. If you're gonna eat pizza, I was very chunky. I used to eat a whole one of them, yes. But I suppose if it's pro, but just the barbecue meat lovers one or the pepperoni, yeah.
I don't know how I feel about the barbecue meat lovers pro.
I like both. So that or the pepperoni. Okay.
One's good.
Next question.
Salami is
Italian shalloumi. Italian shalloumi. Every time I say to him, what pizza do you want? He goes, Italian shalloumi. It makes me...
Italian shalloumi.
And I just don't flinch. I'm like, okay, Italian salami it is. Okay, what's the next question?
When you buy a box of favourites, what's the first chocolate you eat?
I actually don't remember what's in them, but crunchy?
Yeah.
Which is crazy because crunchy is just mostly honeycomb and not chocolate.
Yeah.
Were you going to say something philosophical and then nothing came out?
I was thinking, well, you're not wrong.
There's no comeback.
It's not the chocolate you feel. It's not the chocolate you met along the way.
The listeners came for a great podcast and they were not disappointed. They got the opposite. Okay, so let's keep going. What are the other questions? That's it?
No.
Is that it? It's just all food related.
Okay, all right.
And also asking me why I am.
Remember
what
the most recent letter added to the alphabet is?
J.
It is J.
You told me that the other day and I don't know why.
Okay.
You're full of dad jokes and random facts that don't matter.
Okay. I feel like it does matter, but sure.
Yeah, okay.
Great.
Yeah. Do you want me to ask you any more questions?
Well, are you going to?
I asked you how you're going. And then you told me. This is what the podcast is about. How are you going with... What's your favourite thing about being a dad? Or like your favourite thing that Lyla does? Because also if you hear us call her Lyla, that we call her Lyla, we've nicknamed her that since actually like early on in the pregnancy.
Was it?
Yeah, because we named her Lyla at 5-6 weeks before we even knew she was a girl. And then we nicknamed her Lyla not long after that.
Yeah, well, she was blue.
Alex thought she just stayed inside of the blueberry the whole time.
She does. That's so hard. It changes all the time. I mean...
As in when she does new things, yeah.
Yeah, like currently it's waving.
Yeah, because she won't stop doing it.
She won't stop waving.
It's funny though because...
She waves to herself with her two hands.
In the reflection, she's like...
She'll be in the playpen, you'll just like look over and see what she's doing and she's just doing.
She does entertain herself a lot, hey? Yeah, we're pretty lucky in that sense.
When I'm in the play, I'll be in the playpen with her. She's playing with the toys or whatever, and I'll just be kind of sitting there and watching, and then she'll just randomly have to like stop what she's doing and come over and crawl on me and come really close to my face
and eat your nose.
Go.
Oh yeah, and smile.
And her face and smile at me, and then leave again.
Yeah.
And go back to playing. It's like she has to be like, "Hey, Dad, catch a lot."
I'm totally happy. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. What else? Oh, peekaboo.
You like the peekaboo game?
I love the peekaboo.
Yeah.
The fact that she has to play it always, even when she's holding nothing.
Yeah, she uses her hands and just puts them above her head and waits for you to go, ah. And it's funny because it's the smallest things that make you like smile about kids, but and your own kids, so entertaining. Yeah.
Just when she dances, you go, I dance, and she goes,
yeah, she gets real into it, yeah. Yeah.
The fact that she always dances to Kendrick Lamar. Yeah. Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, but like we put the most like, I don't know, millennial age appropriate music on. The only thing we put on a lot for her is the Sound of Music.
Oh, she's frothless.
Because if she's in the car and crying, like we put the Sound of Music on and she just immediately calms down and just goes, and listens really.
Yeah, puts her hand. I think she loves the, like the orchestra.
Yeah. Potentially.
But yeah, I don't know, it's tough. Her just like when she's crawling and then just lies down for a second.
Oh yeah. Takes a nap just in the middle of the room. Yeah, 3-second nap. Yeah.
Going. What about you?
One of my favorite things is when she wakes up, when she's just woken up and she's really happy for no apparent reason. She just smiles.
Wakes up and just smiles.
She goes, ah. And probably one of my favorite things is when she sees you and she says, da. Because she knows that's you. I do like hearing her say mum. It's really nice. Like when she finally said mum, I was like, yes, finally. Watching her chase the dog is one of my favorite things.
Watching her chase the cat.
Yeah. The cat is so much faster than her.
Yeah, because she gets the dog.
I think it
lets her get her.
In general, it's her enthusiasm for life, like knowing that literally nothing scares her or worries her other than if we're not there.
Like when she saw goats.
Yeah.
On the weekend.
Something so simple.
The coolest thing in the world. She was just dancing at them.
Yeah.
And they didn't know what the fuck she was.
No. Even simple stuff that makes them happy that you just realize that we get really tied up as adults in adult shit, and then you see babies and kids just loving the smallest things in life.
And look, Like, I get it. Like, if I didn't have any bills to pay and I could just dance all the time, then I'd probably
and feed and sleep, and wake up at. What did you do with her at 3:30 in the morning last night?
Yeah, she came out and played the piano.
You're like, she's not sleeping. I'm just going to take her to play.
Oh, we've been trying to rock her to sleep like 2 hours. I was like, bro, this is not working. I'm just going to get her up for half an hour, let her play. And like, it worked.
It did work, yeah.
Literally, got up, put her on the playpen, sat with her. She was like chewing on books and playing with her piano and stuff.
Zero concept of time or appropriateness.
And then she after like 10, 15 minutes was rubbing her eyes. And I was like, I fucking knew it. And then you obviously messaging me. And I was like, just give me 15 minutes. And after 15 minutes, went back to bed, rocked her to sleep, and she was out for the rest of it.
That's something I really like seeing, is like, you're a very, very intuitive dad. You seem to pick up on things really easily, which is lovely. Something that's been a savior in this whole situation, I'll say, is that having you as a supportive partner, but I don't think that it should be any other way. Like, I know it is not that way for a lot of people, but you just being the equal part parent that you need to be. It's the way that we operate isn't tit for tat. We try not to be like that, but we'll often say to each other, like, hey, I did this, or like, I've done this, and we try and then use the opportunity to thank each other. Try and create equality, as much as possible across equity. Trying to make money. This is, sorry guys, gibberish. Equality, across the relationship and across like the dynamic as parents, but also not trying to create. Really, we'd be lying if we said this didn't happen at some point in time, but resentment between each other because we've been, like, Alex has done a full day with the baby, or, by himself, or whatever, for whatever reason, or I've been at home with the baby and I've had something going on, and we're trying not to, deck the crap out of each other for it. But it seems to have kind of somewhat resolved. And certainly, as well as breastfeeding is not as intense as it used to be. Well, I feel like it's not, but it still is. It definitely, despite being a beautiful connection between mother and baby, can be a real, how would I put it, like a roadblock. Like, it's a roadblock for anything, because the dad would think, oh, well, this is great, mum's going to do everything, but it also means that then I have to come back and we have to stop and we have to do this, and we can't do this because of XYZ. So there's a lot of limitations with breastfeeding, despite, but then we went away on holiday over the weekend. I had so much anxiety because I had let down problems and stuff months ago, and I had issues with feeding in public, and I was really worried about traveling and feeding her. And she just, we feed on demand now and fed at the restaurants, and it was fine. Everything worked out really well. And
yeah, for sure.
The hotel room was really baby friendly, and it was actually probably like easier to contain her there than it is at home sometimes. So it felt, that holiday wasn't too bad. Like, despite obviously being in Bundaberg, which is not your ideal location, it was a nice trial run for future holidays.
Yeah, and that's not a knock at Bundaberg.
No.
Anyone who's listening
from Bundy, no.
Like, honestly,
the Gara was lovely.
Why?
Yeah.
I'm kidding, but
we live in the Sunshine Coast. We're a little bit spoiled here. Yeah, you can move. It just, you're not stuck there. No, I like going back, because I do often see people from my past. It's a lot of nostalgia there, but there's not much else that reminds me. Like, I think because
there's some nice stuff.
Family and friends is honestly and obviously Bagara, like, is the parts that I really like about Bundy, and that's pretty much it. So, and before we go, what's your least favorite? He's got this stim going on with this song, The Last Cup. You do this with everything. It'd be like
Sabrina Carpenter last week.
You've got this fixation of Sabrina Carpenter at the moment. It's a little dangerous. Oh, it's gone. Okay, sorry. That was quick. Very, very, very short-lived.
That music fucking slaps.
Apparently it does. Yeah. I'm not jealous at all of Sabrina Carpenter.
Well, you shouldn't be.
I'm not. She's a fictional character, not even a real person.
Jesus.
Well, she's the size of a child, so
she is
tiny human. That's crazy. That's not where we're going. We're not talking about Sabrina Carpenter and this random fixation. You know what? Do the TikTok dance if you want to, whatever it is.
Is there a TikTok dance?
There is a viral, because this is the stupid thing, because you keep singing this. Guess what keeps coming up on my fucking feed? I keep getting the viral dance attached.
What's the dance?
Don't get.
Oh, is it the one with the dad and the daughter?
That's the dance.
The dance.
Yes.
We should do it.
I just said before, don't root me into it. I'm terrible, but maybe we can do the dance.
Yeah.
You're going to want to do it.
You know it's a drinking game?
How about?
I'll tell you that.
No. What is a drinking game?
It's a Korean drinking game.
Oh.
So what they do is you go like, and that's why the chicken and song group is like, no, let's play or game.
Okay.
So what you do is you go like,
it's an adaptation.
And then you'll like, someone will say whatever, I think something 5, like say a number, and you go like this, like ready? So
I can't follow it already. I hate it.
Number, like,
too many rules.
And ready? You say a number.
3.
3, ready? So you go.
I don't. What do I do?
Put your hand in.
What are you doing?
On top.
This looks very disconjointed.
No, sorry, that was the third thing. So you have to take a shot.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, that's how the game works. How it works. That is the most ridiculous, simple
drinking game.
Yeah, so I suppose we've yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah. We play beer pong, so yeah.
You don't play beer pong.
I don't play. I watch you play beer pong very well. No one ever challenged. Don't challenge Alex in beer pong. Alex. Don't challenge Alex in beer pong.
Chinese meal.
They didn't even listen to the podcast.
Take your hands off my penis. I don't remember that.
I don't even know what you're quoting at this point.
What is the charge? Old guy getting arrested at like a Chinese restaurant. And he's like, what? Democracy? What is the charge? And get your hand off my penis.
Like, just Google it on YouTube or something.
No, they'll know.
No one will know. You do all these references and no one's going to know.
Well, I don't know. If anyone's still listening, what are you doing?
They've got nothing better to do with their time.
So sorry.
Last question. Okay, back on track. There we go.
If you are still listening and you have seen that, though.
Actually, I've got 2 questions. I've got 2 questions.
Yeah, rapid fire. I got it.
First question.
Yeah, 12.
Well, don't answer with just a random number. It's Tuesday today.
Oh,
a lucky day then.
Yeah.
What's your least favourite thing about being a dad? I can think of one thing that is probably, I would say worse than sleep deprivation, but I would say like it's up there.
I'm honestly gonna say missing her.
Oh God.
No.
You're putting it on here. There's got to be something else.
No,
okay. Other than missing a child.
Oh, the worst. Dropping her off at daycare and she's crying.
Yeah, I hate that too. I usually almost cry when I leave her.
I can't. It feels horrible. Sleep deprivation, obviously. Not being able to do shit.
Yeah.
Not being able to like go on date nights and stuff.
Being a bit more limited with that time.
Yeah. And that time.
That specific time.
Mm.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But yeah, well, that was one question. What about you?
Least favourite things? Just can't stand that postpartum rage.
Penis.
I can't grow a beard. No, that's a lie.
Yes, you can.
Don't look closely, guys. I honestly would say, the sleep deprivation is probably the biggest one for me because...
That's so basic.
No, but just because, like, with breastfeeding as well, I've got low iron. I just feel like shit all the time. Yeah. So, yeah. And then I get periods, and a period makes me really, really depleted. Suck your butt. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Breast milk's made of blood, by the way, guys, just in case you didn't know. Yeah, it's gross, but there you go. Yeah, definitely like limitations for sure. Just even in general from breastfeeding, like having a baby, all that type of stuff. Like just my life is not as flexible as it used to be in the way of like being able to have time together, which we are going to do now that we've got some days across the Christmas period. We can spend some time together while she's in daycare. And actually, other than sleep deprivation and being limited with time, I would say changing pooey nappies. Like I know that...
You don't change that many pooey nappies though.
No, I don't. That's for a very good reason. From when we before we had a baby, I literally said to you, I can't stand poo. I don't like it.
Pooing on you. I was being considerate. You can't get mad at me if you can wake up. Obviously, that never happens.
I would die.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Yeah. That'd be crazy. No, you know
My professional reputation has just gone down.
Yeah. Nah, you know like you wee on someone and like, people just tune back in. You bring me on the drama.
I'm crying.
That's what you get. You don't bring Alex in this podcast. That's some dumb shit.
Who talk?
Yeah. You know how you wee on someone and shit.
I don't know.
Well,
you do.
Marking territory. Marking territory.
Okay.
Saw a dog do it once. I was like, this guy's going to figure it out. Imagine putting on someone
in the shower
and just being actually shitting on someone and just being like, yeah, that's mine now. No, that'd be weird.
I just can't wait for the title of this episode. Being parents and shitting on each other.
In brackets, unintentionally, all while the other one's asleep.
It's never happened, guys.
What was the other thing that you had?
Just changing pooey nappies because remember that time that you she'd done probably I was the stinkiest poo.
It wasn't even the stinkiest.
It was bad. It was bad. It took up the whole nappy. It was hectic. And he walked in the door right as I was changing it and I was dry heaving. It was so bad.
Working, up early.
Stop it.
Big day, trying to provide for the family. And I just come, I was just like, here. I was like, cool. It actually wasn't. What's the other question you had, though?
Why are you the way that you are? No, don't answer that question. We don't have enough time. Why are you growing a mullet haul across the Christmas period? Please tell me the honest answer.
Tradition.
It's not tradition. How many did you do it last Christmas? No.
I think I started around.
Can you just turn to the side for those watching on YouTube?
It's growing. All right, it's growing, but it's going to take some time. Because
how much do you think I hate it?
I'd like to say I care more than I do, but I don't.
Nice.
It's temporary.
Yeah. Okay. Temporary, because you're temporarily emotionally committed to it, or just
because
you have to shave it off when you get back to work.
Yeah, basically.
Or you could just see how
I work in such an environment where even non-conventional haircuts and tattoos and things,
piercings,
when it gets to holidays, I like to get a little wild.
Yeah. Okay.
Get a face tat.
No, don't do that. That's
no.
For those who have face tattoos, nothing against you, but I like your face the way it is. Please leave it that way. It's a nice face. And speaking of tattoos, you got a new one recently, 2 new ones.
I did.
Alex is honestly, living with Alex is it's a surprise every day. I was out to lunch with a girlfriend for my birthday. I had 1 missed call, and by the time I'd called you back, you'd gotten two tattoos.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is
yeah. I mean, I did call though,
I have this illusion that I have any say in what you do with things, and then I think you just end up doing them anyway, like buying the BMW and getting these 2 new tattoos.
One end of the dad.
And growing a mullet hawk.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So, life is all it's about compromise, and the compromise is literally Alex just deciding he's going to do something, calling me and saying, I did call you. I did ask.
I did say.
I tried to call you.
Say, should I get it today or should I get it next week?
No, I liked them anyway, so it's fine. Tell the listeners what it is. The new tattoos.
Lyla's name.
Yeah, her first and middle name.
Lyla Gray.
And her date of birth.
And her date of birth in Roman numerals down there.
It's pretty cool.
So I'm just
good spot.
Filling space at this point.
Yeah, I like it.
You've all been great.
Thanks for tuning in to. This was an absolute mess, wasn't it?
Yeah, if you put in the comments what your favorite juice is.
This don't put anything.
Interacting.
Don't put anything in the comments about pooping on people. Because
no, like and subscribe. You can comment on Spotify podcasts now, guys.
You can comment on Spotify podcasts. Yes,
guys, it really
no comments about his feet.
It really helps the show. You know, you can put video on Spotify now too.
No way. Really? As in this video, this whole video?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, guys, it really helps the platform if you do take a second to give us a review as well.
We actually on our podcast get shitloads of downloads. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's not a review, so.
Well, you can, actually, please do a review.
Yeah, unless it's bad, then don't do it.
Don't give us 1 star. Please don't give us 1 star.
Or if you're having a bad day and you want to give us 1 star and you want us to wear that burden, you want us to have that on our shoulders for you, then I'm happy to. I'll take that on so you can relieve that load.
Nice.
Thank you.
You feel like you've done your good deed for the day?
Oh, it depends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not until you've shat on somebody.
Oh, that's a bit crass. Jeez.
Sorry. I'm crass. Terrible. Bad timing.
Insubordinate and churlish.
Yeah.
Later, Bob.
Thanks. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If you want us to do another podcast, maybe we can get another one done before the end of the holidays.
Maybe.
Yeah. If there's any
comment below, guys. Is there any other topics you'd like us to cover on the next podcast? There's another way anyone's still listening.
Yeah, people do. They listen to the entire thing.
That's funny.
Here's the thing, right? If you listen to this entire episode all the way to the end,
Message Mariah.
Message me the word. What are we going to message?
Steak.
Steak.
Yeah.
Why steak? Are you hungry?
No, I'm sick.
Pineapple. That's a safe word. On that note, we are leaving. We're done.
I'm out, brother. Welcome to the shit show.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
If you do want to sit on the topic.
This is what sleep deprivation does to people.
Put it below.
Yeah.
Messages your topics. And if we actually get a...
No one ever actually messages me topics. But then, actually I do. No, that's not true. That's not true. 1 week I actually literally said I had, 105 downloads in 1 week of the Spotify podcast specifically. And what was funny is it was one of the episodes that it just went a bit viral. And I, on average, I probably get like 50 listens a week or something like that at the moment. And yeah, it was an episode I didn't even expect to go viral. But our episodes will always do well. So maybe this episode will do terribly because it wasn't the best.
Maybe, yeah, it was pretty fucking flat.
It was terrible.
Just know that if you listen to this, you're weird.
Stay posted for some cute baby photos and stuff. And don't ask us whether we're having another baby because
we're not.
Probably not. Yeah. Bye.